So, this is the Great Ace Attorney. It's a puzzle visual novel game. Uh, it's very great. I love it. So, but you know, there's a bit of more adult-ish content on it. So, more mature themes, but I'm sure it will be a lot of fun. All right. Oh, wow, that was mean, Ambassador. All right, let's go. So we finished the first part where we established we're in Japan and we're accused of murder, and then we fought to get ourselves a not guilty verdict, and we find there's a ton of complications in the proceeding. So now we are actually discovering how we can resolve and escape being called guilty because we aren't. But there's some external forces at play that affect this injustice. So let's continue. So we're at part 2. I don't think Dabster would play with me on that one. I keep trying to get him to write a rap, and it's been... What? What kind of rap? I have no idea. Alright. And we're still missing you. We want to hang and see your podcast keep going, but I haven't seen it go on live in a bit. Okay, I need a drink of water because this is another reading fest. A lot of reading, and I think I need to take more water breaks. Yo, Citizen Prayer, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We're playing some The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I have to change game. So, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The light above your head is washing out your camera. I know, I could turn it off. I don't know if it'll be a good idea. We'll see. Oh. Playing video games in the dark. I have that. I just don't have any good lighting options. I have to buy a light or something. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, guys. I tried. Okay. We're gonna first get ourselves... Yeah. Set game The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Okay. Let's check the game. Looks good. Let's do this. But hey, how are you doing, Citizen Prayer? I hope you're doing well. Yo, Lanley, good to see ya. We're playing some Ace Attorney Chronicles. We just finished reading the scriptures, chatting, reviewing the gospel, which is always a great time. So I hope you're doing well. I saw you were streaming Axie stuff yesterday, but I can't really... Yeah. So, here we go. It's the 22nd November. So this is still the same day as the trial that we were in before. 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of the Judicature, Defendants Antechamber 5. So we have Kazuma, and we are Ryunosuke. So, excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. So we fought well. And I'm like a noob, so yeah. My heart was in my mouth the whole time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, and your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. Hmm. Let's see. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ha ha ha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. So we've had a Phantom Lady, a lady that was erased from the courtroom evidence, and we just rediscovered her. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? Might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young woman, thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. Whisper me your address? Sure. Hey, Shock. Good to see ya. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. Just after, I bent down and picked it up. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining room area. Yeah, I do live in Dinosaur Land. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Who's talking? It's that guy. Professor Mikatoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yeah, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system is even more so, which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? If I'm not an expert, I shouldn't study. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, did he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. Victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I will no doubt that your pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! I said that wrong, but... Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before these old fossils know what hit them. Oh, well, you're talking to Langley. I don't want to... I don't want to expose your deals. I really hope that you find your video editor soon, Citizen Prayer. What? Thank you. Really? You asked me a question above. I don't see it. Yeah. I'll get to that in a bit. I'll write down... I'll probably do that after stream if that's okay. If it's not okay, then I'll do it as soon as possible. Where's my pants? All right. I just don't want to accidentally dox myself somewhere. So, I'd have to get my other stuff. So, yeah. Well, if I hadn't said you believed me then, I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream to study abroad? That's the kind of true friend he is. So, this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely can't afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. 22nd November. It's 30 minutes later. Supreme Court of the Judicature, Courtroom 2. Alrighty, let's do this. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Auchi, have you managed to subpoena witness?
Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize, that's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry About when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, I'm terribly sorry.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then this treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses? Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan? Or of England?
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we've become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
What?
Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Oh, we got our female missing woman.
Your Excellency!
Ooh. Mysterious woman. She's a swan person. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading with the weird voices because it's just gonna be like really intense. Tea, someone bring English tea in England. No discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnaval. La Carnaval. Yes, we know all about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but the powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. We don't even see your eyes. What? She speaks in cursive? What? And it's not even real cursive, I think. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, Citizen Prayer, that sounds like you're gonna burn out somebody real quick. Ooh. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of British people. So I guess they can't understand the accent or something. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was beautiful as a hummingbird song. Oh dear. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. So Auchi is the prosecutor, and Ryunosuke is the defendant thing, the defense attorney, and also the, I guess the, what do you call it? The person who's in trouble. Kazuma's our assistant, though he technically should have been our lawyer, and the judge is just the judge in the middle. Yes, I agree. You obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You clearly have been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. Oh, that's hilarious. Courtroom. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. So, we are not so well studied in English, so we probably just don't understand English that well. In general, yeah. If we trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Bleep bleep bloop 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 bloop. Yes, I was eating steak. I don't know what she's saying. She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese? Bleep bloop bloop blah 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 bloop. Bleep bloop 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 eating with Dr. Wilson. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over to this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator? Perhaps? Bleep bloop bloop bleep bloop, yes. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say, yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime? The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood. Oh, so she blames it on Ryunosuke. Order in the court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have absolutely conclusive witness statement. Okay, we gotta press their buttons. Figuratively in the game. Clear who our real enemy is. We found out who our enemy is. Unfortunately, I'll have to ask you to formally testify. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Tell them the witness your testimony. Yes? What did you do? Yes. Witness testimony. Frightening, sorrowful sight. Bleep bloop 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 beep boop boop. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. Bloop 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 bloop. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Bleep bloop 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 bloop. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Okay, so we have to find out whose gun it is, and... Oh, oh, okay, we'll just, yeah. We have to find out whose gun it is, when did she hear the argument, and so on. Okay. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. Okay, so he butted in, and you can't do that. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. Look at the Snow White Angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine those whose words the court is going to believe. Wow. Sounds very twisted. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. We still don't see her eyes. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. She wears the same outfit. This seems like an important point to think about. As you can see, there's nowhere on her person where she could conceal a firearm. How about her hat? I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in the outfit if she wanted to. Unless and until the precise location where the witnesses who have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witnesses' own words on the matter. Ah, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress and I could prove it. That was weird. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire a gun that I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. So there might be 2 guns. You're right about that, which means this lady is hiding a gun somewhere. So, from our point of view, we're convinced that she is the culprit and she somehow shot him somewhere. That is what we have to prove. To do so, you'll need to pull her testimony apart by pressing her testimony buttons. Okay. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh yes, Your Excellency. Alright, let's press those buttons. So, I think we have to go through the whole thing first. Late luncheon. Okay. Came over to greet the professor, got a fierce argument. Not long afterwards, accused took the professor's gun, shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been a culprit. Okay, we probably need to have the reaction. She's maintaining that you got into an argument, in which you shot him, and which is an out and out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined young lady, young and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. Okay, let's do this. Or else, this trial is over. Okay, even with your thick skin, must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. The fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. First thing to do is press her on many of her statements. This ending part is one of the things that I'm annoyed about in this game. It's just, you're spelling it out really clearly for us as the first trial, so it makes sense. Expose the true face. Let's do it. Okay. So, range slightly late, unable to eat, ordered only a beefsteak. Accused me, came over. Fierce argument. We have to press that.
Yes!
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did was notice it and go over to say hello. Please, don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort to you. I mean, that was for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all just kill it. Yeah, I think that's like have it killed essentially. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman, huh? Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Okay, come on. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. And that part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that, that was when I finished up my coffee and stood up to leave. Yes sir. Sir Tazio! You didn't stream today, and I was waiting for you. And so, here I am, reading the Bible and finishing some more lawyering up. I hope you're doing well. How are you feeling? Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so I couldn't have been the culprit. So we're gonna press this one.
Yes!
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verify it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. Well, obviously. Distinctly remember her saying, I'm not. That's all you did? You just asked her? Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not? Honorable Englishwoman, gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There's absolutely no need for any further probing into that matter. Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps? Think what you will. Sir Tazio, if you hadn't showed up, Yoshi would have streamed until your next stream. I was actually considering streaming over all night to until we reach the end of this chapter, so we'll see how that goes. We're going a little late today. If you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands you support your assertion with facts. In other words, he wanted evidence. He wants evidence. Bleep, bloop, 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 bloop. The lady wishes to point out that, of course, she wanted to stay and assist the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of here. Very suspicious, though. Not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she is in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime, which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You couldn't have at least had the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you? Yeah, we're not taking the bait. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor at the end of which you shot him. We'll see, we'll see. I think we're just gonna finish this and then we'll stream tomorrow. We'll see, yeah. So, she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, and at the end of which you shot him, which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain, In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull... Yeah, okay, we read all this. It's just exposition talking about how we feel about each other. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna press more buttons. Let's press that testimony. Okay, we're gonna look at some... We'll get some evidence first. Okay, so we have post-mortem, which we kind of fully saw already. We looked at this. We saw that. There's steak. There's wine. And then Fuzz was mean to me, and I had to go. Yeah, definitely blame Fuzz. Wasn't Fuzz supposed to stream today or something? And stream his whatever thing-a-mabob? I don't know. The waiter is an investigator. Did he stream though, or he just supposedly was gonna stream but didn't? Or is he gonna stream now? His book reading. Yeah, his book reading. We also have this picture. It took a few bites. We have a fork and a knife. What's this? We have flowers. Knife. We have that. Nothing here. I don't think we see anything. We also don't see a gunshot mark over here. We have this bowl thing. Yep. Yeah, I don't think I saw him stream. We check real quick. Oh, he's on. Ah! Well, we'll see if we actually get to raid him. We have too many friends who are streaming right now. Arrange for a meeting. I just love hanging out with you, so that's why I miss you when you don't stream. Okay, got our medical report. We don't have any other stuff. Slightly late luncheon. We're gonna just press everything. After 2 p.m. in fact, that's a really quite late lunch, isn't it? Okay, I don't know what point we're trying to make. Latest fashion, late luncheons are on vogue. Isn't that right? No. That's funny. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. So they worked together. Huh, okay. On the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. So they were separate. Right, we can prove that with the medical report card of the tooth being extracted from the victim, which got shot. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that's all makes sense, perfect sense. There's wonderful logic. What a shining example of the English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. So we both arrived at the restaurant, and then what happened? Okay, let's see. Unable to eat, ordered myself only a beef steak. Okay, let's press that. Because unable to eat, yep, that was proven. And that was because he had a tooth removed. Yep. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. That was Miss Brett aware of this fact? Okay. It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? Okay, check with him. That's right, yes. The print you have here shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. Or traveled to a distant island, embroiled in such a tragic accident. Have no fear, dear lady. I swear I'll crush the evil fiend that was subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Okay, so in our court record, this is carbonated water as far as we know, not wine. Okay. Okay, just water. Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears the diner toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. Okay. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think? Well, it's very meaningful because there's only one glass on the table. And he's not confident that has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us. Okay, let's present some evidence. Let's do it. Don't freeze up, Ryunosuke. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness' last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well. Miss Brett. Yeah, they're ready to fight for their lives, you know? Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Okay, let's see. Cheers over a glass of carbonated water. We're gonna present some evidence to the contrary. We're gonna present evidence. Present.
Yes!
Okay, let's do that. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with the photographic print. It's just a short while you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that's odd, very odd. Dear me, what odd is the defense inability to express itself? Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett, you just told us she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, where's two glasses on the table, not one? Ah. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only one glass picture here. Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on this case?
Objection!
Minutiae, you say? Minutiae. Minutiae. Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been two glasses on the table. Are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only one? Very suspicious. You're right. I certainly took two glasses to the table. Uh-oh. Bleep boop boop bloop, please do. Inspector, what did the lady say? Gee. It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. Very suspicious. Nani? That was also terrifying. Everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I had been there at all, she says. If she thinks that, then why would she say that she's willing to help? Yeah, and say that she wasn't trying to escape. I don't know. the evidence. I don't know. It's a little conflicting. Sorry. Sorry in a British accent. In a female British accent, which I can't do. Yeah, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's lunch companion before her very eyes. At least try, sheesh. Who can... Oh, okay, fine. Sorry. No. Well... Sorry. I don't really know. I can do a normal female sorry, but I don't know I could do a British and a female sorry. That's pretty tough. You got me. You got me. I can't do all the voices. I try. That's absurd. Absurd. Really? Do we take it that you are going to accuse the vulnerable young and beautiful women of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Bleep bleep bloop 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 blate. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag, which essentially disproves everything about her not being able to carry a gun. A handbag. That's gonna go into the evidence. A small pouch carried by well-to-do women in England. I think this one is pretty straightforward. Okay. We'll get you, mysterious woman. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on this case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Obviously not. We're gonna save all the evidence. Yeah. Okay. Took the glass away in her handbag. Yep. The handbag, obviously. Lady pulled the glass in her handbag to say. Yep. Explains to the court that English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Ooh. What she forgot to mention was her handbag. Which would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire a gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. Ooh, you can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. That inspector should have been fired. In other words, another gun. The one that was already used to kill a professor. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No. Rumble, mumble. Order, order, order. What's the meaning of this, Inspector? Yeah, oh snap indeed. The meaning of what, Professor Prosecutor Auchi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now you have a chance to expose a real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Oh, poor guy. Right now, our theory is that he has TB or something. But it's pretty sad. Okay, let's see. Well, what sort of situation? Clearly, you have no faith in the police. Yeah, we don't. Not this kind of police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because your incompetence. It was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. And that's another incompetence. He should have put it in. He should have put all of this evidence in the court evidence already. In normal cases, that would not be accepted. Okay. So, this print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. But you can see the chair is pointing outwards. As you can see, clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. It's invisible. It's clear or something. Okay, sure, that's right. Apparently meshwork bags like these are the height of the fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there's no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. So, I still think he could be in her hat, or her hair, or her bow, or a giant poofy skirt thing. I don't know. Dress, skirt thing. Okay. Ryunosuke, don't give up. You're innocent. You'll be fine. Order, order. Inspector Hosonaga, will you submit the print as evidence at once? We have to prove that it is evidence, though. Okay. I think you have long enough to I think you'd had not long enough to examine the cross-examine the witness, counsel. Oh, poor Ryunosuke. The court has now been shown considerable evidence, as the photographic print just submitted, which this would have been illegal evidence. I am satisfied there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter. I must make my ruling. Nope. We're gonna object. We're gonna stop this. Come on, guys. You got this. Wake up. Wake up. You're innocent. You know that. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma. Poor Kazuma. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? Shh. Haha. I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. Nice rhyme. You were wasting your time, and there's no way to defeat true justice. You really think you are on the side of justice, Ouchi? You brought in some faulty witnesses, man. In fact, you can chew on your heart's content from the inside of your cell. Wow. Well, it is a murder trial. Okay, how are we gonna... Can we present evidence against it? His dream of going to study Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue from the trial to continue. Okay, hold on. So, when we looked at this chair is facing in. Wait, and on the side here, this guy was sitting right here where the meat was. And so this chair is actually turned around, which is super suspicious. Alright, I think we got something, which means there's no basis we can argue yet. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. Come on, we gotta object. Come on, give us the opportunity. There's such a huge glaring issue. Naruhodo, having considered... Ooh, we cut him off. Let's force it. Oh, his slam was legit. Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet. This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That's the most basic protocol of the court.
Yes!
Yes. Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said that as the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter. I must make my ruling. Now that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, then the ruling on this case at this time would be out of the question. It's blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag, and the gentleman was carrying the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. Oh, there, well. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. You've done it. You've done it. However, I fail to see how this glean any new information. Okay, my thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Oh, come on, we got him. There's something about this photograph which doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. And we know it's the chair turned around. I will grant the defense one final opportunity. Yeah. If we get a game over here on accident, I'm just gonna blame it on the unclear way of interacting with the user interface. Yeah.
Yes!
Just here. This area.
Objection!
What's the significance? What? But it was the chair turned around. Okay. We have to look at the history. What did he say? A note that it's a handbag that stands out in this picture. We're missing a clue. What did I do wrong? Okay, let's look at it again. Let's slow down this time.
Hold it!
Well, I suppose he's just a callous student lawyer. There's little sense of protocol in this matter. They were just insulting him left and right. Okay. There's a rose. There's a little imprint of a fingerprint there. Or something. I don't know what that is. There's his hand. I'm really stumped. Significant detail. Right, there's supposed to be a drink. Where did the drink go? Slumped over. And there's no drink in this picture. This is really tough. Maybe it's the table is empty? We're gonna try the table is empty. Present.
Yes! Objection!
The table... What's wrong too? We're gonna lose this. Okay, we're gonna click on the glass then.
Hold it!
I mean, it could be this dot. It might not be this dot. The blood stain on the chair? Is there a blood stain? Is it like this thing? Maybe.
Yes! Objection!
Oh no. Are we clicking on the wrong part? What is this spot to the left side?
Hold it!
Okay. Let's go back to the picture. Okay, what is the spot to the left side? So you mean this part? You said there was like a fingerprint. There's this little circle, little dot. Maybe we could try that.
Yes! Objection!
Yeah. We're gonna get a game over. No. We're just like, we pointed at the chair multiple times and we're wrong. It's either the guy, or it could be the glass. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's just say it's somewhere in the handbag. There's a something. There's a chain. goes underneath? So... hmm. I can barely see it though. I can barely see anything. Okay, we're just gonna hover over it. Oh, dude, you're so on top of it. I know. We saw this actually. It was on the steak platter. Hold on, I'll show you. You are very keen. Good job. Okay, so if we look at this food, there's actually a bowl thing here, which doesn't make sense, but I thought this was just a shadow in his in his cup or something. Dude, thank you so much. Well done. We have Sir Jaziel with that perfect guess. Let's go.
Yes!
Well done. Look at this. Unusual mark on the victim's wrist. Yeah, Sir Jaziel. It's true. You're a Detective Jaziel. A burn? So he burnt his hand?
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering that new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? With the magnificent lady's handbag? What's that to do with the lady's handbag? Well, it has to do with the food. Right. We survive by the skin of our teeth. Alright. The coroner noticed it in post-mortem. Deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it. Okay. What did it tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? No possible way of knowing either. Oh, we do, actually. We actually do. Curious shape of the mark. However, as prosecutor Awichi points out, unless a firm connection into the case can be shown. I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Oh yeah? We'll see about that. Oh, she says bloopy bloopy. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. Oh really? She's running away. She would like to know if she may be excused. Oh, we're gonna hold her. We're gonna stall. We're gonna ruin her lunch. We shan't hold you up any longer. Ouchi is such a... I don't know. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. Oh, we are onto this. We're gonna pull out not guilty from this burn mark. To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Let's do it. Let's get her testimony to explain the burn. Let's do it. For justice, as the paladins or something would say in WoW. If we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. Okay, yeah, that was just give up. Okay, can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue this a little more than conjecture. Oh, we'll give you evidence. Evidence that it is something bad happened and he burned himself. To tell me the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn, but as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Oh, really? We have to get her uncomfortable, yeah? Let's be bold and not destroy our last random guess because we guessed it all on the chair. It's time to find some evidence that proves what the burn means. I mean, you dragged it out kind of long. We could have answered that. Okay. Yep, we're gonna present this photo. Present.
Yes!
What's this, Council? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. Boop. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forever. What? How? Can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. That's your game? Then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. Okay, let's do it. Click on that thing. Present.
Yes!
The beef steak? Actually, the point is the metal plate that the steak was served on. The plate? Ah. Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. Yeah, exactly. And that guy would have known. The server, the waiter, this emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn. How did he burn him? So, are exactly the same shape. Okay, well, I'm still not sure where this would lead. You genius, you're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Okay, but how do we get to be a not guilty? We can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. That's true. It could have been before the day before, or the day before that. Most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Wow,
Objection!
Sadly, Professor Aochi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury could only be caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? So Hosonaga would have noticed that. I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... Okay. I would say, looking at the picture at the room, that it wasn't severed very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense has pointed out. Very sharp. There's no mild burn, that's for sure. Be more specific, Inspector. Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. That is unless he died and then burned himself. So this might be our lead. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter! And that makes him more perceptive. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burned themselves on a piping hot plate 3 whole seconds would scream in flame. And there's no question about that. Yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day, or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds on that day, That would have been beyond careless, I think, Counsel. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without a question, have heard him scream. Right. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Aochi? Come on, you gotta agree. Yeah. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? And we're gonna get back to the baby, possibly. There was a witness before that accused us of murder that had a baby, so who knows? We might get back to him. I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led to a terrible trap. Trap? There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting... Yep. Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already dead. Oh, she's spooked out. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. Oh no. What? The turntables. Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly, he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ochi, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case is turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. Yeah, we're gonna make that prosecutor suffer for his incompetence. And we gotta get her to go out and react and get goaded. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, you're gonna stay. You'll have to forget your luncheon engagement. But, Your Excellency. The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Let's get him. Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency. She's holding her heart, or chest. She's hiding her smile. I think she's gonna blame someone. Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. What? Wow, she hid her proper Japanese? Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all. What was that? So she's been speaking English to like stall time or whatever, and then she suddenly speaks English, which we read as, in Japanese, which we read in English. So it's kind of like a weird flip to kind of simulate how it feels. My mother tongue. the Queen's English is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. She just dissed all of the Japanese people. Oh, that's so rude. That's terrible. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So, I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicate with you all on your own level. What a plot twist! You're the epitome of a true English gentleman. Wow, how did he come with that? He's such a... He's like kissing up to her like real bad. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. Like, man, Aochi is like kinda cray-cray. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words. Man, as a judge, I would be mad. Wasting the court's time to speak in English when no Japanese. Of the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So we're finally gonna hear her own words on the matter. We're gonna hear her tone and hear her stumble, probably. We're gonna press her, so let's press those cross-examination testimonies. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man's burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. A double burn on this guy? Oof, man. That most captivating and beautiful, like, insult testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Well, we'll remember that. Easy does it. I hope that this is the last time I have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted everyone. Anyone? You insulted everyone. Oh my goodness. This guy. It seems very clear in your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what's happened here today. The Minister of Justice? That irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you to notice that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. Yeah, we're gonna get ya. We're gonna get Miss Brett. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. You fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness testimony. I think we'll be fine. We're the protagonists after all. I'll be ruling on this case immediately. Is that clear? He's ready. He's ready to strike at the heart of truth. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. It's kind of crazy how many interesting parallels this is. This is like a secret trial, and all these false witnesses. You can see my mind thinking of Jesus being accused. I mean, Naruhodo definitely isn't Jesus, but wow. Interesting. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in toast. As far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyways. Okay. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I don't know. I think this could be hard work. She speaks Japanese brilliantly, but she doesn't want to say very much. The more she says, the more she's likely to give away. This Englishwoman knows that only too well. She's quite formidable. Formidable. Dr. Wilson's burns tells us something, I'm sure. I need to use this cross-examination to find out what. First things first, I'm going to press her on everything she said and try to make her blurt something out. What is it, Kazuma? What are you thinking? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrists like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor... Okay, we just have to go through all of this, and then we'll press on it after... Yeah. Okay. This is just a repeat of what we went through. Okay. No idea when the poor man burnt his wrists. I mean, the steak is yours, so
Yes!
definitely pressing that. Put his hand on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't have not noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. Oh no. You can't not have noticed, can you? Oh, she has an epic burn every time. Haha, what fun! Oh my goodness. You hadn't realized? That dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes. Think my tiny brain can. So she's gonna suppose that he just held this super painful burn. Wow.
Yes!
Well, I can't. Anyways. Raise our glass and toast. We're gonna press this as well. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, isn't that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember, which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly, as you say, sir. Although, whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water, then when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Oh, don't say that word. How dare you! I have enough English to understand that, at least, for the benefit of others in the court. It means, bless you. Okay. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway. So, I think that little point there, I think we caught on to something. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. To be honest, I think the cheers thing, I don't even know if... I don't know if the cheers thing even really happened so far. We might have to reveal that it either didn't happen or maybe it's just something that happened, but we don't need to know. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. Okay, we can look at the evidence though. Clearly a record of some kind of medical treatment. Oh, this is medical treatment. Okay. Oh, anesthesia. So the anesthesia could affect how he felt it though, right? I think we found he didn't shout because of the anesthesia, possibly. Not being able to feel pain. It says no food or drink other than 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. So, and we have post-mortem, time of death. It actually doesn't say shot, right? Cause of death, single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma, so in the chest. No exit wound. Bullet didn't pass through the body, so the bullet's still stuck in his body. Okay. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. Okay, we're gonna press that.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace? If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there's always telltale traces on the body. That's true. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation. And he clearly didn't do that. There would be physical traces with all the causes of death, if that's true, but maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. Like poison. No doubt. Tell me, young man. You're gonna have to tell me, everyone, how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather fat, doesn't it? Okay. A way to kill someone that leaves no trace. I have a feeling this is a poisoning, to be honest.
Yes!
Let's just press this last one too. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lens of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene later for investigation, but in this country you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Okay, quite right. Carnival is open for business as usual today. Yep. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can. Yo, my secure gift, good to see you. I'm really glad to see you. We just finished Bible reading and we're going through the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We just revealed the mysterious woman behind that was missing in the previous accusations against the protagonist in this game. And so right now we're trying to cross-examine her. But I hope you're doing well, and how are you feeling? I hope you're doing well, and hope your week has been well, your coding, and of course, hopefully you are excited about the weekend. Killer Blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Auchi is finally starting to see sense. Tell me about your day, and what you're up to, my secure gift. Big nerd. Much doubt that. Still, there's something that Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think? Ryunosuke? Thing? It's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. We did see... like that. No worries. Brushing teeth is important. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean... find a way. Okay, we have to find the chink in her armor. Kazuma? What, Ryunosuke? There's one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me. You mean... You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes. He seems to be reacting a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. Yep. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Yeah. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. Wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I suppose I must press on Brett's last statement again. Okay, let's do it. Let's go statement 5. And press.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of Great British Empire, police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Okay, I'm gonna skip right to it. Which means that if an investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. Can we get him to be a cross-examiner? Things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they are listening to someone else speak, you find they often let their guard down. You're right, look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. Alright, what can we do about it though? It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now. Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. Can I click on that or something? Hey, Regenerated. How's stream? I hope you had fun reading Psalms and playing Halo or whatever you were up to. I know Fuzz was also streaming. But here we are, we're all streaming. Hey yo, I hope you're doing well. We were just reading through our Bible in a year as well, and we read through Psalms, Genesis, Matthew, and Proverbs. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Let me know if there's anything we could pray for you about, if there's any cool things happening. I should have gotten on, but so we're all streaming. Yeah, that's true. And now we're playing Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is the series based on the visual novel Courtroom Case puzzles. It's pretty fun. I love it. Didn't read a psalm today because I wanted to take advantage of the flight window. Right, so Halo Infinite came out, and so kind of disappointed. Could use prayer. I have an interview tomorrow. Why don't we stop right now for a bit and pray? All right. Let's go to blah, 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 blah. All right, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Regenerated, here's an interview tomorrow, and God, we love you and appreciate you, and we know you give us good things, and we trust you with the future. And right now, we lift this situation to you, that that it would go well, and that the outcome would be desirable. And yeah, God, I just ask for health and safety as he goes to do it, and that he'll be confident and it'll go smoothly. I pray for the rest of the things that Regenerated is doing, that you'll continue to bless it. I love the interviews and stuff that he's been able to do. Continue to help him create these resources to edify the Christians that he reaches. And God, I pray for all of us, Christians alike, that we would be ready to give the good news and be ready to give an answer. And God, I ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Back to the game we go. Zoop. No problemo. The moment we focus on Miss Brett, who the person actually making the current statement, but by moving the marker left and right, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. Wow. Oh, really? You did? What was going on with your SMS provider? But by moving the marker left and right, can we do that right now? I could use A and D. Okay. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with a space. If you catch the person just at the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. So we can actually look around. Interesting. Alright, so first I should move the marker across with A and D and focus on the detective, then pursue him with spacebar and see what's on his mind. Here we go. Takes a different evidence. Vital evidence may be lost. Okay. Now we press space to pursue. Excuse me. Yeah. What? What's the meaning of this? Ahem, ahem. Whoa, he's coughing awfully loud. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He was really lost in his thoughts, deeply. ISV status. ISP status? I'm not sure what ISV is. Do you mind explaining, my secure gift? It looked like you were thinking about something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please share it to the court. What is the meaning of this? Oh, he's worried. It's a delightful Englishwoman who is testifying at the moment. This is a new mechanic. I don't think you could do this before in other games. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. That's kind of interesting. Yes, not to mention the fact that he is intimately involved in the case. Independent software vendor. So what kind of software, what's an example of an ISV? Not exactly sure what that entails. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Man, he has blood on his mouth or something. Well, yes. If you don't mind, I'd like to speak. Oh, she's hiding her eyes. The lady is right. Our country's police practices aren't as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Whoa. Ahem, ahem, ahem. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that? It's the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on that day in question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz. having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Thanks for the lurk regenerated. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. He's serious. Ahem. He's coughing up. Can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Okay, we're gonna look at that. We're definitely gonna look at that. Whoa, excuse me. It's Brett. Can you confirm that this indeed the bottle which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. We have some suspicious things going on. The inspector will kindly control his fervor. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. Okay, we're gonna go to present and look at the evidence. Okay, nothing's out of place there. Does it say anything? The label is written in foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazma? I think it's French. It must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That was what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Okay. Hmm. So this is carbonated water. It's the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. And look, there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking around drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. I don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. In more ways than one. Uh, I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? As I said, might be poison, just saying. Gone quiet all of a sudden. I'm thinking I might have just worked out something out. An interesting possibility. Okay, we're gonna suggest that poison is one possible way of taking a man's life. We're gonna press. If this causes a game over, well, too bad. What's this? I was wondering about that. She asked if something could have killed him besides the gun. She literally led us to it. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Ooh. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Ding. Okay. Like, I love these stick percussion music stuff. It's really good. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from this glass? Ooh. Order, order, order. And on that day, he was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink. There's only one one person who could possibly have done it. Giselle Brett, it was you. Oh, that accusation's. I don't know if we can. You'll have to use evidence. This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. And she might just throw it back at us because we went to the table as well, right? You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself now? Have you forgotten we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? That's that's irrelevant. Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty? Objection. Obviously, this is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. It's true. The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Grr. Ahem. If I may silence you forever with this. It is you who should be silent. Look at this guy. Now, shut up is probably not a nice thing to say for sure. Where did that come from? She just snapped. Whoa. We're gonna hear what she's up to. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I describe your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Okay. Well, we didn't know there was a poison investigation. You did investigate poison? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? Perfect investigation. Flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? Nothing, right? I would test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. But we got that cup, and we're gonna get it. The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No, no. Is it connecting to the I think the coughs just was him being sick or something. I don't know if it's really relevant. Nothing's been foreshadowed yet for that. I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Hey, Epitome. Welcome back. And you're welcome to keep lurking. No problem. Thank you. But of course, just kissing up again. How many times does he have to kiss up? I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. I think we're gonna get a poison accusation going. We'll definitely do that. The prosecution have asserted a shot to the chest from this gun is only a conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. I mean, my lips are being chapped too. Man, I need some water. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to the court at this point? Kazuma? Sorry, Ryunosuke. I'm nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. We can't. We have to stop her. No, don't let her go. Who said hold it? It's the mysterious girl we never got her name from.
Please wait.
Isn't that? What's the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikatoba, Judicial Assistant to Defense.
Mikotoba? She's serious, all right. In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. In her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Yeah, I know, right? We got this in the bag. In the packet. Okay, to be continued. We'll get back to this next time. What a twist. So we'll see you tomorrow morning if you're available. Or maybe we'll do it in the afternoon. I'm not really sure. It's either at 9 or 12. It's hard to say. I just have to wake up in time. Next time on Yoshi's Dream. Yep. Next time on The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Yeet.